but if you're gonna add me, listen to my music and tell me which one you like, man. Speaking about music on the Undeniable album, man, we got one of the producers, one of the top tier producers where everybody loved every single track that my brother produced right here. My brother TrailMixx Beats. Come on, join them in. Come on, let's go.
Man. I appreciate
What
it,
up,
man.
T-Dub?
How's it going, man?
How you feeling, dog? How you feeling?
I'm feeling good. Thank you guys for having me back. I appreciate it.
Yeah. No, thank you, man. You're a big major part of the Undeniable album. Your Vanguard Award, featuring Cassius and Epidemic, El Dance, featuring Josh Dominguez, Reina Music, and Who Chopped You, featuring our brother Bad Seed Faculty, Sickness, man. So, there. And they're all different,
right?
They're all different, and they're all you, G. And you brought that magic to us, man. So how you been, brother? How you been?
I've been doing really good. You know, I've been just diving into my craft. My album's done, so Rebellious Heart is the name of it, and I'll be dropping that later on this year. And yeah, I've just been working, taking care of the kids, and sticking to the craft, right?
Right.
Just creating.
Yeah. Speaking of creating, what is your tool of choice of creating right now? It's 2024. Things have changed, and what are you tapping into? You're going back to the archives. Or you're using more technology.
So I do a balance of both, but like right now, I'm still using my MPC, and then I'm using a couple different softwares, and then I have the Roland XP 60, the Ep so graciously gave me, so yeah. I haven't even got to start using that yet. So I've been using that, and then working with a couple instrument players, a guitar player, and then somebody that plays a horn too. So I've been mixing that in with my music too. So that's kind of the newer sound that I've been working on lately. That's
dope, man. That's dope. Rebellious Heart. What's the journey behind it?
So back in 2020. I was going through a divorce, and just, a lot of separation anxiety from my kids and stuff. Things weren't, going too good. So I hit up Ep and I said, man, I need to do an album. I'm going to do an album. So at that time, it was like, man, what's the most treacherous thing for me at the time? And, it was just a rebellious heart. Yeah. So that was kind of the concept. And then I just started creating the music for that back in February of 2020 is when I first started.
Do you think it was a self-medication to get you through those things, or how are we looking today since 2020 and 2024?
So I would definitely say it was like just a portion of my therapy. Music has always been my therapy, but some things are harder to talk about, and then you start putting them in the songs, and then you come to the point where it's like, I have all this material, now I'm going to share it. So then that's that level of vulnerability. And so I've really had to work on that level of vulnerability to be able to say this, like, I'm going to share, with the world, the music that I'm making. And it's like, it's real, it's me, and it's authentic. It doesn't sound like anybody else's stuff, right?
Yeah.
Still authentic.
Authentic. Speaking of that, I know firsthand of writing music, and then being able to, a lot of the times when it's therapy, I feel like, all right, man, I wrote it, I recorded it. Do you get the sense where you're already over that feeling, or are you more like, you know what, there's people that I have conversations with, and they actually went through the same thing as me. Let me give it to them. Do you have that? Yeah,
and I think that's what's kind of helped me. That, and Ep was telling me, it's like, you need to become an artist, because I fought it for so long for that reason. I just kind of, just dove into production, and that's all I was doing. I hadn't done any writing. And then, he was telling me that, and I finally did. It's because it's like other people can relate to the music. It's real, and we all go through ups and downs. And it's just, sharing that. And I started putting the music out, and Ep was like, he knew that people would respond to it well. So it's like, four or five songs later, and I had 1.5 million streams in 2022. So somebody
Hell
was
yeah.
listening to it, and then I just started looking at the countries that my music's being streamed at, and it's,
Mm-hmm.
Ukraine has a war going on, and there's people over there that are listening to my music. So a lot of international
Man.
fan base, and it's like I really just started diving into saying like the music isn't just for myself anymore.
Yeah. Yeah,
It's like
yeah.
it's to be shared.
You never know, man. Somebody will listen to your music and take a liking to it, and then it's gonna help them just get over that hump. Sometimes we bottle stuff in for so long, and we're whether it's sad, it's a happy, or just like something that you can't get over the hump, and the music just takes you. And I'm like,
Yeah.
you know what? I was having a fucked up day. And I use the music for most of those things in my life where it's gonna be a happy. I know what I'm gonna throw on. I'm gonna throw on to
Right.
some tuxedo or something, right?
Yeah.
And then so tell Rebellious Heart, what roller coaster of emotions is it? Where would you you have a track list already? Like
Yeah, so
already set it?
I have 13 songs on there, and then I have an intro and an outro, and I would say that this whole album is like a reflection of my reality. Like I've been through different stages of this journey, and I've had to learn some hard lessons, and so those lessons are learned by many mistakes, and so this album is like it captures a lot of those times, and I have some really deep songs on there. And
Man.
it's talking about like the things that I've been going through,
Yeah. Yeah.
and so it's like I feel that the more that I share that part of myself, then it's going to be able to help other people that'll find themselves going through these different valleys and peaks, right? Like
Yeah.
you can be up so high, and then you get leveled down, and like how do you get out of there? It's like, well, let's find some music that can help me get out, just like you were explaining. How you feel, you know what to put on, and so that's where I started saying like, how am I feeling right now? Like then I make the beat towards that, and then I put the lyrics to it, and so to make that combination and put it together, and then I mix it all, and we put it out, and it's being received well. That just makes me feel good.
On Rebellious Hearts, are we getting 808 heavy 808s, or are we getting bass, or what is the melody behind Rebellious Heart as a entirety? I would say like what type is it? What's the sound? Because I'm trying to envision it, because I know what we've had and what we worked on before, and now I'm intrigued.
So I would definitely say there's some 808 in there, and really off the Rap Monster, I produced some tracks on there for Ep, and so like a lot of that sound of those tracks that I was producing, like it was the start of me creating the production for Rebellious Heart. So if you've heard that album, and you can get kind of an idea of like where I was headed to. So there's some 808s in there and stuff, but still a lot of synths and stuff. So I would say that it's a mixture of what West Coast would sound like, but with some Southern, some Southern influence, and and that's in my heritage too. So our family reunions in Louisiana. So my grandfather, rest in peace, Willie Clyde. I spent some time with him there one summer, and like it just changed me. Just being in that type of culture and listening to that music too.
The influence,
right?
and mixed and gelled in with that West Coast vibe, the synths, man. So I can't wait to listen to it, man. As a matter of fact, let's get into the mix, Cookser.
Yeah,
I said we could jump in the mix for a little bit. Can we throw on some TrailMixx in the mix?
of course.
Speaking of,
yeah, let them see what it sounds like, right?
we're gonna come back with it. We're gonna give him a little bit of everything from my brother T Dub. I'm used to calling him T Dub. It's TrailMixx Beats. You could find him on Instagram. TrailMixx with 2 X's on mix. We're gonna jump into the mix with my brother Cookser One. Sunday School Show. Come on,
Let's get it.
Oh yeah, we back with it. Sunday School Show, still authentic with my brother TrailMixx.
What's up with you, man?
TrailMixx, dog. We had a show. What are the tracks, man, that you done produced, my G, that you was right there with it? But we're gonna be speaking on more of your tracks, man.
Right.
Let's get into it, man. what are your favorite tracks that you have produced? What are the artists? For me and Cookster to know, like what artists have you produced and what tracks are some of your favorites?
I think on the Rap Monster, I produced "Let It Go,"
Okay, let
and
it go.
yeah, that's like one of the favorite tracks that I produced. And then on Dolly Girls 1111 project, I co-produced that album with Ep, and
The entire album.
yeah, the entire
Entire.
album. Yeah.
That's a banger. Yeah.
So I like Realize on there. You know
Yeah,
that
realize
yeah, that one was
with is that the one with MB Riders?
yeah.
Is it realize? Yeah, I think that's the one. And wait, what other ones, brother? What other ones, man?
And I think I like El Dance.
You like that one?
Yeah, you know that one. When I first made that the track, you know, and we was working together, and it was like, this is it, you know. And then you got to just see the vision, you know, because I don't make beats, I produce. So you know, it's like
Yeah.
you got to get into it, and it really calls for you to dive into your creativity, you know. So when you see that, when somebody does that to one of your tracks, it's powerful, you know.
Yeah, I remember the conversations we were having. And you know what, man? And speaking of that, shouts out to Rollo. I believe he was telling me like, "Hey, man, I heard that beat, but certain beats, just beats in general." And he didn't see how the track fruitioned into what it was. He was like,
Right.
"I had that beat, man. I heard it with Epidemic." And do you ever get that when you're listening to something and you give it to an artist to do their thing, and then you're like, "Wow, like I'm really impressed."
Yeah, I think what I when I make the track, and then you know, and then we start diving into it deeper, and then you start getting more into the production side of it. It's like the way that some people take it to the next level. It's like it's always refreshing to see. You know, I think I get that a lot with working with Ep, and then even what you did with like even Vanguard Award, and then Who Chopped You. You know, putting that hip hop spin on those to those beats that are, you know, they're pretty intricate. You know, they're not like a simplistic sound. So to see people diving in and like really, you know, making
Yeah.
it their own, I like that.
I know we were having a conversation when you sent me that beat, Who Chopped You? And I was all like, man, I need to get Sickness on this one.
Yep.
It sounds like something that Sickness, man, like he would just murder, and he did.
He
And I
did.
wanted Sickness to do what Sickness does, and he definitely he went over the top with it, and it was amazing. I remember one of the listeners told me when I first heard Who Chopped You, the first thing I hear is Lord forgive us for we're about to sin. Yo, Sickness. And then boom, your beast comes in. And I was all like, man. The original idea for Who Chopped You was, you know how we chop cars,
Yeah.
and you know, chopping motherfuckers up and shit like that. I was gonna call it Chopped Up 6'4", where I was gonna do 32 bars and Sickness was gonna do 32 bars. So if I see it out there, I knew it was you. Saw it right here at Hits 101 Radio Sunday School Show. But that's what I was gonna go with it, and I was all like, man, that would be dope. We might still do something like that, but that beat was amazing, man, and it was like one it was the last song I recorded for the Undeniable album.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and the first one I recorded for the Undeniable album was Vanguard Award with Cassius and
right.
Epidemic.
To start it and in your project, and
That's
it's
you,
doing
dog.
it's doing well for you too, right?
Yeah, it's doing good, man. We share a birthday, right? Or is it?
Yeah, we're I'm
day apart?
January 27. We're both
Yeah.
we're both Aquariuses, you know, the Aqua gang, right?
The Aqua, man.
It's like very, very unique individuals for sure, right?
Dude, I know, man. And we've been knowing each other for a few years, so we always call each other or message each other for our birthdays, man, which is dope. But yeah, man,
Right.
Vanguard Award started the album, and man, how you made that beat? It was just it was amazing. And I got
appreciate
blessed
that,
with it.
too.
El Dance was, I think you shopped that beat, and then
Yeah.
I chose it from a list, right?
Yep. I sent you that one with a few other ones, and it was like, because I know, you know, Ep was like, you know, we need something, you know. you
Mm,
need something for the radio, and try to hit
yeah.
the dance floors and stuff. So that's kind of what I was thinking in mind when I made that track. Is like, okay, what can I produce that'll give them something that has that feel and that move, so you can get
Hmm.
people to the dance floor, right? Because I
Right.
mean, at some point you're gonna want people dancing to your music at some
Yeah.
point, right?
Yeah. You got to change the vibes, give them a little bit of everything. But that came
Right.
from you.
Yeah,
You know what I
man.
mean? So we're bumping. I mean, we're gonna get into Rebellious Heart, and I know I see the little. I have a. Is this what you gave me? Is this gonna be the actual album cover?
Yeah, so that's the actual album cover, and so if you see, like, it's like a puzzle piece missing out of the
Yes.
heart, and that's like it's shaped like a person, and so for me that like represents me losing my brother, and there was like a piece of my
Mm.
heart that I, like, all these years I haven't never been able to try to find that puzzle piece to fit it
Wow.
back. So I realized that I'm not going to, and so that's why the rebellious heart is just what it is. It's me learning that you know you you you,
That's
you you
deep.
lose certain things, you're not going to get them back in that same form, and you just got to figure out how to move on, even though the heart is rebellious, right?
I can't unsee the puzzle piece now that you told me that it's an actual person.
Yeah, if you see it, it's just like it's
That's
there's a
dope.
lot of creativity in it,
Yeah, yeah. I like it, man. That's really dope. Rebellious heart, man. And a lot of us go through certain things. So I'm like, damn, I can't wait now. You'd be looking at stuff, and I'm like, I see this figure, but this is dope. Do we have a actual date, a release date yet?
So probably sometime towards the end of the summer. I'm
Okay.
looking at, and then it'll
Mm-hmm.
be dropped exclusively on my website, which is up and running now. So
Yeah.
trailmixbeats.com with two X's.
Mm-hmm.
You can order merch. I have my music there, so that's where I'll put the album at first, exclusively, before I put it on any streaming platforms.
TrailMixBeats.com.
.com.
How you feeling, Cookster? How you feeling?
Good, good, good. Just here, man. Just here vibing, relaxing,
Yeah, yeah.
observing.
And shout out to
Observing.
my homie Jeff for helping me get my website up. He's been helping do some work on there. So shout out to Jeff for that, man.
I see it. I see this. I'm looking at it right now, man. Beat creator, rapper, producer, clothing line. That's dope, man. I like
Thank you.
that. And then you have your shop right there, your Instagram, your Spotify. So that's real dope, man. I remember the run of these Trail Mix shirts. One of my son's favorite shirts was I believe it was a red one that he got.
Yeah,
Yeah.
those ones did that run did really well. So yeah, I think I've done like 4 different renditions on my clothing line, and it's done really well. So yeah, go to the website and grab some stuff, and there'll be more stuff added. As we keep moving forward. So I
Yeah.
have like some the Trail Mix Rebellious Heart merch too. So there'll be hoodies and stuff
That's
with that
gonna
same
be-
logo.
I think a lot of people are gonna be able to relate to it.
Thank you, man. I
A lot of
appreciate
people are
that.
gonna be. Who do we have featured on Rebellious Heart?
So I have Max Manelli, which he's from Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and he just produced that film called Diamonds in the Dirt. It's on Tubi.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Shouts
I got
out to Tubi.
yeah, Tubi. Shouts out to Tubi,
Yeah.
man. Tubi's got a lot of good documentaries on
Yes.
artists too, man. So you can
Slept
kind of get right. You can kind of get in the rabbit hole with it, and next thing you know, you're like 5 documentaries in, trying to write your own.
I swear, man. So you got him on there. Who else? You
So
got on
I
there?
have ADs on there. I have, of course, Epi's on there. Ep Dre. And then I have, let's see who else I have. Oh, Cadillac Kaz is on there too.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah, I have him on there. And then my homie KO is on there too. And I think that's it. So I produced
Yeah.
all the beats myself, the whole entire album. And there's not a whole lot of features. So I have Max
Yeah.
Manelli on like 3 different tracks.
Yeah, and that's the sound that you were talking about earlier, right?
Yeah.
That you were telling us that it's coming rooted with your family members, your gramps and stuff.
Yeah, and you'll have that feeling, and I think that you'll feel too because I'm a Pacific Northwest boy as well, so like you'll have some of that influence into my music too, and I think I really been leaning towards like a lot more of the live guitar, in some of my newer stuff
that's
as
dope.
well too.
I know we started the mix with GMC. Compare GMC, Outside, Take It Slow, Cocoa Butter, The City, Rebellious Heart. It's a whole different. Is a whole different you.
Yeah, it's more me diving in more to like some of the things in my past and stuff like that, and then just like me being very vulnerable. I have some very vulnerable tracks on Rebellious Heart too that kind of shed more light into like who I am as a person and stuff, and like how that really shows up in my artistry, right? Because we all have a past, right? It's what we do to grow from that, and that's kind of what this project is.
Being a producer and having different sounds to it, do you think about when you get a request for a type of beat, are you open to that, or are you just more like, this is my sound, I'm gonna stick to my sound? Or let's say a person like me, hey man, I want some folklorico sound, or something like, I want something like, I heard this sound, I want it on a track. Are you open to stuff like that, being hired as a producer?
To me, it's like I like to work with somebody and try to develop our own vibe, and create our own sound. So like, I mean, if there's something or a certain genre that you like, I'm always open to hearing that. But I like to work with somebody and actually like, let's develop your sound. Like, let's develop something, and let's challenge both of us, right? Like, let's go back and forth. So I don't make beats, I produce. So we may go through a couple different renditions, before we get your track all the way lined in. And it's like, that's the type of people that I want to work with that are that creative.
I can't wait to introduce them to the song that you brought us. This is why I'm bringing this up, man. Because I got the pleasure to listen to a song. It's a banger. Is this gonna be the single to it?
Yeah, so this is the one that we'll start and kick the album off, and it's I like it, and F certified it, he says, so I talked to him, and I trust the process, and so that's the one we're gonna premiere and drop.
The sound is here. The sound it's now, and it's still you though. Like it's you, and it has this like a sound boom on it when it knocks.
Yeah.
So the name of the track, brother?
It's called Up There.
Up There.
Yeah, and
you got it ready, Cookster?
It's got Max Minnelli and
Minnelli.
AD,
and this is the single for TrailMixx Rebellious Heart. Once again, brother, where could they find you?
So you can find me on Instagram, TrailMixx Beats with 2 X's, and then tap into the website, TrailMixxBeats.com. This is an exclusive, and like I said, this music will only be on my website before I drop it on any platform. So
one more time, dog. We'll let Cookster do his thing. Go ahead and introduce it, my G.
Song called Up There off my upcoming album called Rebellious Heart.
Sunday School Show. Still Authentic. Cookster. Come on, let's go.
Get it.